Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch The Legend of Korra Season 1, Episode 9. I just watched Episode 8 this morning. If you want to see my reaction video about that, I'm gonna put the link into the eye. I had to make a break between episodes. It was not planned, but when I exported the videos for the episode 8, I saw that the sound was weird. Turned out that something was wrong with my microphone, and also I had to take time to deal with it. I warned you during the intro of the episode 8 that today I was... I don't know how to describe that. I'm not tired, I'm not exhausted. I just feel that my nerves are, you know, breaking a little, and that my emotions are higher than usually. If you saw the last episode, you saw that just me imagining that maybe Korra would see Aang during the last episode, just to imagine it made me cry. I almost had to take a break, so I think that you can understand that, yes, today my emotions are higher, so to have that issue with the microphone, I was like that during all of the time that I was not understanding why I had this issue. So my emotions are still high, but I'm more annoyed, you know, a little mad, because it took me a lot of time and I don't have a lot of time today. And I also plan to watch 2 episodes of Firefly today, so I need to hurry a little. So that's it, you're warned. I'm emotional like usually, maybe a little more than usually. This morning it made me cry really easily. Right now, with the kind of mood that I have, maybe I'm gonna be mad during all of the episode. I don't know, I can't plan, you know, I can just warn you that it's like that today. But still, see, I'm like that also, like I can cry, I can lose, I can be mad really easily. That's it, that's that kind of day. Okay, about the last episode, what happened during the last episode, I'm lost. I'm really lost what we're gonna find during this one. Like, Korra, she was taken by Tarlok. We're gonna take her to a place that no one knows, but he left that place, you know, which was destroyed because they fought. Is he gonna say that Korra did that and then left? What? Is he gonna say something, you know? Is he gonna justify what happened just right there by blaming Korra or not? And what happened during that fight? I mean, the fact that he provoked that fight, I thought that it was because of the fact that he wanted to blame Korra, to say she attacked me, see how the avatar is, she's so wrong and all. But they went so far during this battle, the two of them, like Korra, we really saw the dark side of her character, and she was not into the avatar stage. She was just, you know, letting her anger control her. She needs to control more of feelings. Yes, it's me who is saying that. If she wants to control, you know, airbending, I think that it can be why she's not masterizing it well. Maybe it's something that she needs to learn. I don't know, but I know that I was surprised by how she reacted. And Tarlok after that using bloodbending, you know my opinion about bloodbending, you know how much I was shocked, you know, when Katara learned it but also used it against these soldiers and all. For me, it's torture, you know, to use bloodbending. It's just so wrong, morally, it's so wrong. I'm against it. I was also shocked, you know, that Tarlok used it right there against Korra. And after that, to take her, we don't know where, For what reason? I mean, these flashbacks and all. At first, the first flashbacks that we had, I thought that it was related to Amon, and maybe it was related to Amon because of the fact that he is related to Yakone, because during these flashbacks we saw Aang and Toph, you know, that period of time, so I was like, maybe Amon is related to Yakone, and we're gonna discover what happened to Yakone when he fought against Aang. Toph is also involved into that, and during the last episode we discovered that Tarlok is also involved into that. I don't understand what happened. During these last flashbacks we saw kind of a trial with Toph being the witness or the person who was accused, and she attacked someone during that trial. Aang was into the audience. Tarlok was there also. I really don't understand what is happening right there. For Tarlok, I have trouble to understand also where he's standing. You know, before that, I always said that the guy wants power for sure to control the city, to control the security. It's already what he's doing. Tenzin is maybe the last one who is against him, but if Tenzin is leaving the council, that's gonna be the end. So he wants the power, the control, but I thought that he was really against Amon. Maybe he could switch, but only if Amon would tell him, if you are following me, you can have that and that, more power. But what happened during the last episode, when Korra told him that what he's doing, it's like Amon, he had these eyes like she was insulting him, or maybe I read that wrong, and in fact he's on Amon's side since the beginning, and that's why we have this flashback. Maybe they are related also. I really don't know. For sure, I'm lost. With Tarlok, with these flashbacks, with what is gonna happen to Korra, with what is gonna happen also with Bolin, Mako and Asami, they are in jail right now. Like, we are screwed. Like, the situation right now is so bad. I'm really lost with what can happen right now and how they can do stuff, resolve the situation. I really don't know. And also, during the last episode, we had these decisions that the council, because of Tarlok, took about taking off, shut off, maybe. I'm searching for the good word for that. The rights of non-benders, and for sure, by doing that, you are playing on Amon's side. You're really gonna amplify the war between benders and non-benders. Not all of the non-benders are equalists, but those who were not equalists before that, they're gonna become equalists. You are taking their rights and you are accusing them to be like the equalist, and that's so wrong. It made me sad, it made me mad, you know, that situation. And that's why also maybe I'm beginning to suspect Tarlok to play for Amon, because for taking that decision, it's so wrong, it's so much what Amon wants that I can just think that you are on Amon's side, you are playing on his side. I'm seeing it since a long time now, and it's only the episode 9, 8? It's only, you know, the middle of the season 1, and I'm seeing it since a long time now that to win against Amon, it's gonna be okay by fighting him, but also by changing stuff into this society, Republic City, between benders and non-benders. There is a real issue. We saw that for facts, you know, that happened. There is a real issue. I said it for pro-bending before they said it in episodes. I said it also for the triads. I'm saying it also for a lot of different situations that we had. There is a real issue. Amon can't convince so easily all of these people without all of that, you know, being based on a real thing, on a real issue. I really think so. But you know my theory also about Amon, the fact that he wants to create that war, but winning that war, it's not the conclusion that he wants. He wants to create that war. That's one of the steps of his plan But his plan is not to win that war. His plan is something else. I don't know what. I'm suspecting something related to that Yakone, but I really don't know. I'm feeling that he's lying about being a bender. I'm feeling that he's lying about other stuff. You know, the fact that he's not showing his face. It's almost like these people, they could know his face, know who he is. I'm thinking about a revenge situation or something like that. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm trying my best. Maybe you who know the truth, you are losing watching me making all of this wrong series, but please, I'm trying. I'm gonna stop this intro right now. If you want, you have my Patreon on which you can have the episodes earlier, 2 weeks sooner for The Legend of Korra, and with an extended or full action part. Also, the weather is changing a lot today. As you can see, we began this intro with a big sun, and now we have the wind and the clouds, so maybe it's gonna rain. It's July and it feels, you know, like we are in March. With the weather changing like that a lot during the same day, during the same hour, during the same minute. It's like that. Let's go for this episode, and I hope that the sound is gonna be better. No matter what, you know, I always have a backup recording for the sound. Since one day, for one episode of The 100, I think, I had a real big issue with the sound, and because of the fact that I didn't have any backup, the sound was awful, and now I always have a backup, no matter what. Also, because of the fact that it's sunny still, it's hot, and that's why, you know, I'm wearing a shirt and all, and that's why also maybe my computer is gonna make a lot of sound, because it's getting old, you know, almost 10 years now, and I need to change it. That's it. I think that I'm gonna change it at the end of the summer. To be totally honest with you, I'm waiting to have the Patreon, you know, I'm keeping the money of Patreon since months now to be able to buy a new computer, a new MacBook, because it's crashing a lot now when I'm exporting videos, and it's beginning to crash also for no reason, even when I'm doing nothing, you know, not exporting files, not doing something big, you know, it's crashing. Again, 2012, 10 years. You did a good job, you deserve to rest. I'm gonna use you a little more, and after that I'm gonna change you. But that way maybe it's gonna make some sound. I'm sorry for that. Let's go for this episode 9. No flashback with Aang, please. I can't deal with flashback today. Emotions too high, so nothing which is gonna make me cry, nothing which is gonna make me mad. Really, it's gonna be my 2 extremes today. I can feel it. Careful. And now it's sunny again. Oui, bonjour. Je crois que vous êtes au mauvais appartement.
Ah, ok.
I can't. Can you stop? Fuck you. He's gonna lie about it, Tarlok, saying that he defended himself, stuff like that. What?
That's when the Equalists attacked.
What now?
Trying to protect Korra. We were outnumbered.
Ah! You're really acting on your own.
Mobilized the entire police force.
I'm not sure that Amon is gonna be okay that you're blaming him for that. You're still up. Go, girl!
Cover your ears. I can't go with you listening. Asami. The Korra's in trouble. Amon captured her.
No, he didn't. Ah, you need to understand that.
Your flag was down.
On these visions. Aang's spirit is trying to tell you something.
No, 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 no. Okay, I need to prepare myself. It's gonna happen. It's gonna.
I told you, I have this under control. Follow me, Twinkle Toes.
You kept naming him like that.
You think you can stop with the nicknames?
Never.
It's over. You're under arrest, Yakko.
Yakone.
We have dozens of witnesses, Yakone. We know what you are.
Take him away.
Whoa.
You said it. Okay, I'm gonna make a little break. Now we're all there. They have still the same relationship. You were already the head of the security staff. You looked so great. I'm proud of you, both of you.
You need Naga. She can track Cora. I'm afraid her polar bear dog is missing as well.
Oh, why? Where is Naga?
Underground. Just like my father's secret factory.
It would make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You and I, Bolin.
There's a tunnel nearby.
So she really followed her mother's step.
And what if Cora's not down there?
Then we pick another tunnel until we find her.
He's not gonna give up.
Do you think he likes Cora as more than just a friend?
What? No! That's
Bolin.
crazy talk is coming out of your mouth right now.
I hate the fact that you're lying to her.
I mean,
She helped you so much. She betrayed her father for you.
They kiss?
I don't think it meant anything.
I doubt that.
You told the truth. I like that. Honesty first. Come on, guys.
That monster already took your bending, didn't he? I'm so sorry.
It took out their bonding, but not their life.
Darla's lying. What?
I scanned the entire prison. Cora's not here.
Because he has Cora. He fooled us all.
Thank you. Oh, Bolin. Yep, my dear.
Try to team like that, fools!
We got more company.
I would do the same, and I would make an all, and Tenzin would make us fly, you know, something like that. Ah!
Yakone has maintained his grip on the underworld by using an ability that has been illegal for decades. Blood bending.
Tarlok can do it.
During full moon.
Tarlok is related to Yakone?
Councilman Sokka will now deliver the verdict.
In my years, I have encountered people, even metal bending was considered impossible for all of history, until our esteemed chief of police, Toph Beifong.
You kept the same hair. You were a councilman. You helped Aang with Republic City. You didn't come back to the power. You talked about your boomerang.
Even metal bending was considered impossible for all of history, until our esteemed chief of police, Toph Beifong, single-handedly developed the skill. Yakone is one of these unique benders. We find Yakone guilty of all charges and sentence him to life in prison.
Sokka, you had this responsibility. You're so proud. You did that to Sokka! Dude! I hate you, I want you dead. No. How many breaks? Thank you, I'm gonna hate you. I didn't want to cry or to be mad. The two of them at the same time. And now you're making sound, MacBook? Not the good time.
He took her. I was here when Avatar Korra arrived last night, but
You stayed?
I was on my way out when I saw Tarlok bring her down to the garage.
Thank you. You're so brave.
Because Tarlok is a bloodbender. He bloodbends Avatar Korra.
You saw that also? I love you. You're not gonna do that too. To all of them? You're that strong?
Wake up!
Lin, I recognize how sweet you are.
Public City is mine at the time.
You didn't kill Aang. Oh, I thought that he was dead. No, Avatar State. Avatar State. Aang didn't die like that. Aang. No, I just said you didn't.
I'm taking away your bending for good.
Did someone saw you? Amon saw you? And Tarlok, you're related? Oh, fuck! All of you, fuck!
You're your clone's son.
Okay, that's why you want publicity and all.
No, I'll escape and start a new life. And you are coming as my hostage.
In your dream! I said it. That Amon was not gonna be okay with what you did.
For you to be equalized. You've never faced Bendit like mine.
You got
What are you?
a bender.
I am the solution.
You took his bending away. I know, my dear, I know.
Tie her up.
You're not related to Yakon. Naga.
My goodness.
Where's Tarlok? How did you get away?
Give her some space.
Mako.
I was so worried.
Guys, you're sweet.
You're safe
Oi! Just oi! Ay, ay, ay. 3 breaks? 4 breaks? How many breaks I made during this episode? I said I didn't want today any emotional moment, any flashback moment. It was so great and awful at the same time. I love and hate this episode. I can't even think about everything that happened. Flashbacks. All of the story. I said during my review and my intro, you know, my review of the last episode and my intro of this one, that I was confused by these flashbacks because they were so short with not information at all, you know, it was just pictures almost like that, and it was involving some characters but we didn't know who they were and all, and to who they are related that we know now, and we had no information about what was really happening. I saw a trial but I didn't know of who and all. I even thought that maybe it was Toph who was accused. Yakon, not Yakone, I don't know why I'm saying Yakone. Yakon was accused to commit a lot of illegal stuff, but more important, to use blood bending, because blood bending is illegal, and they discovered that he can do blood bending without the full moon. Sokka was the head of the council. I'm so proud. He looked great. To be the head of the council, it means that he didn't go to the pole, he stayed with Aang, they all stayed together. It's so great. They all stayed together to build Republic City. Toph, Aang, Sokka, Katara. Maybe not Zuko, you know, he has Fire Nation to rule, but these 4, they stayed together. Twinkle Toes! And they were still the same together, you know, their relationships. Yakon was sentenced to life in prison. He used blood bending against them. I said it, for me, it's torture. It's torturing people from the inside. It's taking the control of their bodies. It's the worst way that you can hurt someone, for me. I don't know why. I know that some of you don't understand that, and some of you are telling me that they are hurt, but as much as, you know, during a war they can be hurt by a gun or something like that. Like, it's bad, but it's not awful like I'm describing it. I can't tell you why for me it's you know, from the inside, it's like in Harry Potter, if you know, that... in English? I'm not sure. In French, it's le sortilège d'Andoloris. That one, you know, which is hurting people from the inside also, it always scared me even more than killing people. And right there it's the same, it's shocking me, it's making me feel not just uncomfortable, it's terrifying for me, it's really terrifying. Yakon doing that to our guys. After that, the fight against Aang, I thought that it was how Aang died. I couldn't accept that, no. So Aang took Yakon bendings away. Can it be how Amon learned to do that? Maybe he saw it, you know, they were on the street into the city. So my whole theory about Amon being related to Yakon and all was wrong since the beginning. It was Tarlok who was related to Yakon. I think that the writers, they were clever for that. It was on purpose. They made us think that Amon is the ultimate enemy that she has to fight with. The flashbacks happened each time when she was meeting Amon. So of course I made that connection in mind, and it was clever from the writers to do it like that. But no, it was Tarlok who was related to Yakon. So Yakon taught to Tarlok how to use blood bonding even without the full moon. That's why he wanted his revenge, Tarlok, to have Republic City for his father. Amon took Tarlok's bonding away. Right there, he wanted to capture the Avatar. I'm surprised by that because I really thought, you know, that Tarlok claiming that it was the Equalist who took Korra, it was against what Amon wants. He doesn't want to make her a martyr. He said it during that episode, you know. So right there, to take the Avatar, it's against what he wants to do. So I was surprised that after taking away Tarlok's bonding, he wanted to capture Korra, no matter what. We can't know what he had in mind for her, because she managed to escape. She was clever to do that. How she did Naga, the fact that Naga found her, that was so great. After that, how Mako acted, I love that, I said it. I began to ship them during the first episodes that we had the two of them together. But I still think that they are not acting right. Even right there, it was not right to talk like that to the other person, to not see that Asami was there seeing that, to act like that in front of her. You're not thinking of her when you're doing that. It's nice and beautiful in a way for Korra, that Korra is above everything, that you're just focused on her and all. But it's really bad because it means that you're not paying attention to the person that you're supposed to love. I mean, she loves you and she gave you her trust, so you're betraying her by doing all of that. And by not considering her, you're betraying her even more. It's really bad. I don't like how they are doing all of that. But I'm shipping them, I can't help it. I found that sweet, you know, that moment at the end. Asami, she discovered that Korra has feelings for Mako during the last episode, and during this one that they kissed before. And she has doubts about whether they are continuing to have feelings for each other, and Mako is acting like that during an entire episode. Asami, I wouldn't blame you if you would leave him during the next episode and be mad at him, at them. They are lying to you, they are flirting with each other in front of you, they are not respecting you, not considering you and all. After everything that you did for them, including betraying your father and being totally against your father, changing all of your life for them, I'm a little on Asami's side, you know. You see? I know. I can have a lot of contradictions. I'm shipping Korra and Mako, but I'm on Asami's side. That's how I'm thinking, you know. Really also showing the fact that I'm not following blindly characters because I love them. I'm not following stuff blindly and all. I'm saying that also for another show that I'm watching right now and that I love, but I'm not loving it blindly, and I can say also when things into it are badly done. I'm not talking about The Legend of Korra, I'm talking about Firefly, if you want to know. I love this show and these characters, but I can say when these characters, they have reactions and actions that I don't approve, and when the writers are creating scenes and moments that I don't approve, I can say it also. And love still the show and the characters. Because I love too much shows and movies, and I appreciate too much how they are well written, done, played and all. That's why, you know, I can make the comparisons when they are not as good as normally they are. Do you understand what I mean? This episode, all of these flashbacks, I'm so kind of... How am I gonna react when we're gonna see Zuko on screen or on a flashback? I'm gonna die. Really die. I'm glad that it was the last episode of The Legend of Korra that I'm gonna watch today. Now I'm gonna watch 2 episodes of Firefly. But for Korra, it's all for now, and it's better, really. These 2 episodes, they were working together. I'm glad that I watched them on the same day. Because, you know, I paid attention to that, to the episodes which are working together for The Legend of Korra, to be sure to watch them on the same day. But these 2, you know, they are not the part 1 and part 2 of a big episode, so I could have watched them not on the same day, and it could have been wrong. Do you understand what I mean? Before beginning The Legend of Korra, I didn't know that we were gonna see our guys. That's why during the first episode I was so surprised. We saw some flashbacks with our guys, so I knew that we were gonna see flashbacks, but I think that I'm still not prepared to see them, because at the end of Avatar The Last Airbender, really, I said goodbye to them in my heart, in my head. I said goodbye to these characters. So to have them back, it's great, it's so great, but in another hand, it's hurting me. I need to prepare myself more for that. I think that I'm not into the good spirit, you know, with that. I'm letting them surprise me when I should be prepared, in fact, in each episode. Because yes, Korra, she's gonna connect with her past lives, so of course we're gonna see Aang a lot. I need to prepare myself more. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now for Korra. I'm gonna watch Firefly now. So it's all for you and for me for today for The Legend of Korra. So it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye. Oh, and I'm gonna put the full reaction part for this episode on Patreon. I'm pretty sure of it. Maybe also for the last episode, but I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna see that during the editing. But this one, sure, the full reaction part, if you can be interested. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.